When you wake up in the morning and that fresh dose of air hits your lungs, are you happy with who you are? Can you look at every experience you've ever had in your life, every decision that you've made, every road bump that you've went through, and every lesson that you've learned in your journey, and feel so grateful for the person that you've become? If the answer is yes, and you're thinking to yourself, I am happy in this moment that I am alive. And yes, I am happy in this moment for every lesson I've learned and who I've become along the way. Then be happy. Be happy. But it's not as simple, or our minds won't let us think that it's as simple as we make it out to be. Oftentimes, we treat happiness as an outcome, as if it's some distant friend that we'll never get close to. And once we reach the very thing that we think will make us happy, something else comes up and we're chasing something different, thinking that will make us happy. And before we know it, life blurs by, filled with more things. And while we gain more on the outside, on the inside, we feel emptier and emptier. Many of us experience this silent internal battle of what we think it means to be happy. You know, most people, when asked, what do you want the most out of life, will respond with the same answer. And that answer is, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. As a matter of fact, I don't know about you, but I've never met one person that said, I just want to be sad, or anger is the number one goal on my list, or I just want to be depressed. Most people have this common desire to be happy, but it begs the question, if happiness is something that we all desire, why is it that so many of us are walking around in life unhappy? This was a question I had to ask myself a long time ago, and since then, I found some answers through my own experience, and today I want to share that with you. Oftentimes we view happiness as a goal. And when we view something as a goal, oftentimes a goal is associated with being something that is outside of ourselves. So for example, if you're asked, what is your goal for 2022? You know, you might have some tangible goals, like I want to make more money. I want to get that job promotion. I want to buy that car that I've been wanting to buy. I want to go on this trip. And oftentimes those goals involve something that is outside of ourselves. That's how we associate goals. And the trap that we fall into with associating happiness as a goal, which is so common for so many of us, that trap is that we are associating happiness with being something that is outside of ourselves. And when we associate something with being outside of ourselves, we're also telling ourselves that we have to work for it, earn it, seek it, and deserve it. So here's how I view happiness today. Happiness is not a goal, but a state of awareness. Happiness is a state of awareness. Ha! Ha! When I had the self-realization that happiness is a state of awareness, it taught me that I no longer need anything outside of me in order to be happy. so much of my life, I associated happiness with, I need to have this significant other in my life in order to be happy. I need to get good grades in order to be happy. I need to make other people happy in order to be happy. I need to get a nice house in order to be happy. And life becomes this if and then statement. If I get this, then I will be happy. Or when I get this, then I will be happy. And we spend so long in our lives just rolling in this hamster wheel of when and then and when and then, and it just keeps going. And we wonder when it stops, and we burn out along the way, and we lose ourselves along the way. But when we begin to view happiness as a state of awareness, what we're also teaching our minds and our bodies to experience is happiness that comes from the inside out. When we are aware that we are happiness, and it's not something that's outside of ourselves, we begin to look at life through the lens of joy. We begin to look at life through the lens of joy because it is already something that is innate within us. But when we view happiness as a goal, we're looking at our lives through the lens of, what do I need? What can I find in order to make me happy? And so it's like we wear these lenses on, these goggles, these glasses on, and we're looking through the world, and then we're finding different examples of happiness. We scroll on our phones through social media, and we see, oh, well, maybe this person has an idea of what it's like. They have all these nice things. They look happy. They're smiling in their photos. Maybe they know what happiness looks like. And then what we start doing is we start to borrow what happiness means through the lenses of other people, because we're seeking outwards. And before we know it, we're adopting happiness based on what other people are doing. But the thing about you is that you are so unique. You have a different background. You have different life experiences. You have different skills, different talents. You were born with a completely different and unique energy. And what makes you happy is going to be completely different than what makes anyone else happy. And the only way to find out is to give yourself the opportunity to explore, what does happiness mean to you? This is what I did for a few years in my life. I just started to unplug from all the things that I thought made me happy. I spent some time just being single, solo, not dating anybody. And I really wanted to understand myself. I wanted to be in a relationship with myself to understand what does make me happy. The more and more that I explored that, the more I realized how simple my life got to be, because it was the simple things in life that made me so happy. Like waking up in the morning in cozy sheets, or watching the way that the sun peeks through, or watching the leaves, the shadows of the leaves on your blankets as the sun is peeking through first thing in the morning, or smelling the fresh air when you go for a walk outside, or touching a tree and feeling the vibration and the energy of the tree, feeling the warm sun kiss your skin. Simple things, making food and smelling the aroma of food. It gets me so excited and happy just to think about those simple things. And the more and more that I started to subtract from my life, the more I felt like I was gaining. And the more I realized that happiness is not an external journey, it's internal. And I learned this to be true when I sat in meditation for the first time. And I felt that state of bliss. And it didn't come from anything outside of me. It wasn't a drug. It wasn't a drink. It wasn't a pill. It wasn't people. It wasn't music. It wasn't anything outside of me. It was consciousness, observing consciousness. Happiness is a state of awareness. And when you recognize this, then what you recognize is happiness has been within you all along. And so has peace. So is peace. So is love. And so is all the things that we desire to have in life. It's the reason why we work so hard. And ultimately, we just want to be able to enjoy the life that we're living. But if we're constantly going to be seeking happiness, then how do we get to enjoy it? But if we realize that it's something that is already innate within us, it gives us the opportunity to actually just open our eyes and enjoy what we have right in front of us. We are no longer viewing our lives through the lens of other people and what makes other people happy. What makes my mom and dad happy? What makes society happy? What makes my family happy? What makes my followers on Instagram happy? But instead, we tap into such a deeper internal state of happiness, and we touch that ocean of bliss. And we draw that happiness outwards. And we begin to embody that. And everywhere we go, no matter how small the interaction is or how big, we are exuding that joy to everybody else in the world. So I want to remind you today, if you have been feeling like you need more to be happy, that you don't have enough, and you're comparing yourself, you're looking at your life and you're thinking that you are so much less than because you don't have XYZ, or because you didn't reach an external goal. I want to remind you that happiness is something that is so deep inside of you, and it's there. Sometimes we just have to remove all the layers that prevent us from being with that happiness. It's all the shoulds, it's all the can'ts, it's all the doubts, it's all the fears. And the more that we start to remove that, removing the fear of disappointing other people, removing the fear of not being accepted, removing the fear of judgment, the more and more we remove all those layers and we just bare ourselves raw, that's when we touch the state of bliss. And it is a simple state of awareness. And this is why meditation is something that I love, and it is part of my lifestyle. It's not just something that I teach, but it's something that I'm living and I'm experiencing, because meditation helps you to observe yourself. It helps you to observe your own mind. It helps you to have a relationship with yourself and the larger self, the cosmic intelligence, the infinite intelligence, the universe. It helps us to be so in touch with ourselves, our highest selves, that we can't possibly ignore that happiness is something that's within us. And all you have to do is remember. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to work hard for it. You don't have to do something in exchange for it. You just have to remember that it's there. And then all those layers of fear and doubt gets to be an opportunity for you to recognize yourself at a deeper level, and to ask yourself if that fear is actually real, or is it just part of an illusion? The illusion that we've bought into, that happiness is something that exists outside of ourselves. I'm sending you all my love, and I hope today gave you a perspective shift, and it gave you this opportunity to realize that you already have something so beautiful, that you already are someone so beautiful, and that feeling of happiness and peace and joy and abundance that you're looking for is already inside of you. And what if you just spent more time with you? What if you've spent time taking yourself out for walks, taking yourself out to see a warm sunset, taking yourself out to dinner? I bet you anything that you are so much fun to spend time with. You're gonna make yourself laugh a lot, and you're gonna meet yourself at a whole new capacity. And how beautiful is it that you get to spend this one life with you? You get to spend this one life with you, with this body, and you get to meet a deeper version of yourself, a higher version of yourself every time you go in, every time you meet yourself at a deeper level. And you get to be your own best friend. And now you can go out into the world and be friends with everybody and feel like you understand them at a deeper level because you understand you. I'm sending you all my love, and I'll see you in the next video. You are a drop in the ocean of Sat Chit Ananda. You are consciousness. You are bliss. You are that which is. You are the moments within life and life within the moments. You are eternal. You are a drop in the ocean in the drop. You are that, and that is you.